Men of Reddit, what is the most screwed up thing a woman has done to you? I rejected her, and she accused me of sexually assaulting her. Almost lost my job, as well as nearly getting kicked out of the school. Lost most of my friends, and any reputation I had, even though it's blatantly obvious I did nothing. #metoo right. I would post the superbad meme, but I don't know how, so it's the one where Jonah Hill is at the party and is like, yeah, fuck me right. Cheated me on Christmas. Haven't talked to her since. The woman I married and was building a life up with turned out to be a manipulative narcissist who ended up cheating on me with several guys. Another messed up thing was that she manipulated the guy she was cheating on me with as well by convincing them that she was a struggling single mother whose husband had abandoned her and her daughter. Got pregnant by my friend when I was in Iraq. Mine banged my boss when I was an instructor. We should start a subreddit for this. A sub to bash our trash exes? Count me in. I just got downvoted. Thanks here, lol. Upvotes to balance it out tosses you the garlic for protection. Even better if you pour out a bag of rice, she has to stop and count all the grains. Good way to stall her. Sending you love, mate. No one deserves that BS. I was dating a girl in high school. I know the term gets thrown around, but she was a head case, like definitely had actual problems. Anyway, I break up with her finally. I hadn't seen or spoken to her in weeks. I wake up one morning and I go on Facebook and apparently someone damaged her car, slashed tires, scratched doors, etc. She tagged me in the pictures and basically insinuated to everyone that it was me. Show up to school Monday and it was all anyone could talk about. Mortifying. Not a man, but this happened to my best friend. He dated a girl for a year. She made him feel like he wasn't doing enough in the relationship. She wanted him to get a vasectomy because she was absolutely afraid of having kids. He got it. She broke up with him a week later because she decided she didn't want to date anyone. So your friend is Michael Scott, which makes you Dwight Schrute. Look, I have never seen the show. I have no idea what you're talking about. Identity theft is no joke, bud habbalaboo. Then how do you know I'm talking about the show? Carrot guy earlier. Figured it couldn't have happened to two Michaels on two different shows. Or at least unlikely to. One thought it would be a great idea to tell me a guy was outside her house with a knife threatening her, all to get my attention. She and her parents weren't too happy when cops, an ambulance, and a fire truck showed up at her house at 11 at night, sirens blazing. The sheriff called me about 20 minutes later and to get a statement from me, and she was taken away in handcuffs. I'm curious what the repercussions were for her. Last I heard she had transferred schools as this happened when we were in high school. What did she think you were going to do? Told me that it was her or my cat. I choose my cat. I don't like cats, but I like ultimatums even less. Easy decision. Anybody I would choose over my cat, which are very few in number, would never ask that question. Anyone who talks like that automatically should have the other item chosen over them. Broke up with my girlfriend 2 weeks ago. We were in this weird limbo stage where she was basically done with me and I was trying to talk things out. Worst part was that she would emotionally manipulate me into thinking that I was emotionally abusive. I've seen multiple counselors who have confirmed that she was the emotionally manipulative one. Not only that, but anytime I brought up my feelings she got angry at me for having them. IDK still trying process this breakup. Hope you're on your way to healing. This has happened to me as well. My ex even went as far as to tell her parents that I was harassing and trying to force myself onto her. I checked things out with a friend and a counselor, and they agreed that she was very manipulating and manipulated the situation into her hand. I went through a very similar scenario recently. It's important that you move on and cut her out of your life. It will be hard to do, and it will hurt for a long time, but it is the best path forward. People like that care only for themselves and not for anyone left in their wake. A girl spread horrible rumors about me because I refused to sleep with her at a party and everyone bought it. She lied about having cancer so that I'd pray for her. I'm atheist. Heavy manipulation via guilt tripping, keeping me in a relationship I'd clearly wanted to leave, and then cheating. Seems pretty common, honestly. Tell me to move across the country to be with her, but she wasn't able to stop banging her study partner when I was staying with her. I don't have a lot of experience with women. The only woman I got with robbed me. So you've met Cardi B. How was that? Kicked me in the nuts, then yelled that she cheated on me with my best friend. Neither me or my best friend knew we had the same girlfriend. We both dumped her directly. My nuts hurt a whole week. And we were 14. Not my story, but you should read this famous green text which goes by the name "Don't Worry, He Knows." I had a fiance break up with me on Christmas Eve. Then somehow, we get back together, get married for 3 years, then come home from work to find my stuff in the back of someone else's truck. I had come home early to surprise her. I even brought flowers. The only thing missing was rain and a sad violin playing in the background. Dude, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard. My condolences. Lied about being pregnant, hacked my social media, called my mother and lied, called my house a million times, threatened to put a hit on one of my friends, extorted money from my mother, attempted to blackmail me, and stalked my social media including Reddit. Dating a girl for almost a year, totally in love with her. Then she tells me that she started talking to her ex over FB and that she's moving across the country to be with him. Then a couple months later I get a text from her saying she had an abortion. I felt horrible about it, mostly because I felt bad she had to do that alone, and I was a little upset that she just nonchalantly told me via text. I was more than willing to go fly out just to be there for support. Then another month later she tells me her ex is crazy and she's moving back, while giving hints of getting back together, moves back and then gets married to some guy she just met. It was a long drawn out thing that drained me over the course of a couple years. Stopped talking to me when I asked her out. However, she still messages me once in a while when she wants to, but refuses to respond to my messages. So she sends one, it's okay. I send one, or respond, I get blocked. Then unblocked, and she sends a message again a few weeks later. Basically only uses me to rant. Doesn't want me to respond. Married me. But then to make up for it, she divorced me. So we're even. Moved away with my child without leaving a forwarding address. Cheated on me with over 15 people in 6 months, with 3 being in one night and 1 being one of my closest friends. We were together for 6 years, 3 kids, 3 fathers, none me. Broke up with me 4 days before homecoming dance, which she knew I was really looking forward to. It was my first one, and told me she never loved me. Wasn't even given a reason why until like 10 months later, that she had a crush on a girl, but TBH I don't really buy it. After splitting with a girl she came over, got angry and swung a money tree at me. Took advantage of me mentally and sexually, so I'd keep paying for her apartment and car. It only lasted a year, but I haven't been the same since. Something in me broke for good thanks to her. Was seeing a lifeguard at the local water park where I also bartended at here and there. She was so upset that I wasn't ready to date anyone that she went to management and got me blacklisted from working there in a downtime that I wasn't working there. Slept with me and told her ex-BF, who later stabbed me 3x and took 10k. When I was young, dumb, and full of love, I quit my job and hitchhiked from the next state over to see my then wife on her birthday. It was also the day she told me that she no longer loved me and was leaving me to be with my cousin. Not sure if it makes it better or worse that I got one last grudge fucking. I had a crazy girl I had split up with tell me she was pregnant and it was mine. Then 2 weeks later she told me she was going to abort it. I don't think the child was mine, but I never found out for sure. My ex got mad at me, we were still together, and she left because she had to cool off. I went to bed, and while I was dead asleep she rained a huge haymaker down on my eye. Really confused for about 5 seconds, and that's when I kicked her out. Packed everything up between 1 to 6 AM, and then told her to not come back. Never seen her since. Took a picture of my wiener while I was asleep and then showing it to pretty much every woman in my grad school class at a house party the next week. I didn't find out until a year later. Never really had bad things happen with girlfriends or anything, but when I was 4 or 5 years old, my babysitter made me get dressed in front of her and made me sit uncomfortably close to her when we were watching TV. Dumped me out of the blue after 6.5 years together and an engagement. I had one talk to me once, not sure why she would put herself through that. Not me, but this pathological liar some guy I knew dated claimed she slept with all his friends, guys and girls included. Another friend replied to this accusation, "I did? Was it good?" Not to me, but a friend of mine. His girlfriend made him sign a contract to keep her as his #1 Snapchat friend. No hanging out with any other females without permission, including work outings. He can't make any decisions for himself unless she approves of them. This guy has never once wronged her, no cheating, never treated her poorly. Not me, but a friend. He dated this girl last year, that for the most part pretty sweet. However, she had the woman balls to break up in a freaking week. Look up the MGTOW subreddit for more info. My ex-girlfriend scheduled a concert and dinner date with another guy just 3 months into the relationship, but she told me she was going with her girlfriends from college. She created fake texts of her friend inviting her and sent me screenshots. I found out the truth by chance, and when I brought it up with her, she said that she hid it from me because she was scared that I would take it the wrong way since they were just friends. I think Biz Markie wrote a song about exactly that. I honestly wouldn't have cared if she had just been honest, but that was the beginning of the end for us. Led me on for almost the entire duration of our relationship, then one day said in her own way, "I don't love you," and I never did. Broke up with me after a great vacation to Boston. Manipulated my little brother to try and get me to do something I didn't want to do. Unluckily for her, he's an idiot and blabbed who put him up to it. Gave me the clap, then said it was my fault. I had her friend text me over Snapchat that she's dumping me out of the blue 2 days before our anniversary. Back in middle school, this girl said lies about me that were not true. I don't remember what she said about me. I got myself in trouble and the school just gave me a warning about it. I regret not doing nothing about it. Asked me out to prank me, then called me out for saying yes and publicly said I was a terrible human being. Spread rumors around school about me because I did feel the same way about her. Pretend to be pregnant when we were 15. Not my experience, but all those men Cardi B drugged and robbed. 4th grade, Valentine's Day. My crush gives me a handmade card with the following poem. One that is forever burned into my memory. Roses are red, violets are black. I think you'd look better with a knife in your back. Catfish me and 2 of my friends. I decide to meet despite. Then find out once in relationship she's catfishing my friend still. Then find out she turned 16 on her 18th birthday. To top it all off, she dumped me on Valentine's Day. Called my mom to check on my mental state after breaking up with her. When I was in high school, I wasn't really a ladies' man. One night I get a call from one of the more attractive girls in my class, and she asked me out to the movies. I wasn't planning on going, but my dad actually convinced me to go. So I did. When I get there, she shows up with her boyfriend and her sister or cousin. I'm not sure of their relation. Her sister is overweight and in a wheelchair. Please note, I really don't want to sound shallow. I don't have a problem with overweight women. This was just unexpected. As we finished the movie, the girl in my class was convinced that we were a couple. I told her it was late and went home. Being used to make her ex jealous, and then just getting back with him at a party. 2 months wasted, and I felt like a dope.